Have you ever felt completely stuck, staring at a blank page or canvas, waiting for inspiration to strike? You're not alone. In fact, a study by Adobe found that more than 70% of people experience creative block at some point in their lives. That's a staggering number. It's like being trapped in a maze with no way out. Creative block can happen to anyone, whether you're a writer, artist, or musician. Shocking research from Psychology Today reveals that over 30% of professionals say they struggle with creativity on a regular basis. It's a silent battle that can lead to frustration, self-doubt, and even burnout. But here's the good news. Understanding these struggles can help you break free. In this video, we'll explore the hidden truths behind creative block and share practical strategies to overcome it. You'll learn about the power of play, the dangers of perfectionism, and how embracing downtime can reignite your creativity. So, if you're ready to tackle these challenges head-on and rediscover your creative spark, stick around. Let's dive into the often unspoken world of creative block and unlock the secrets to a more vibrant, inspired you. Chapter 1. The Silent Burnout. Why your brain needs to recharge when you hit a creative block. It's easy to think you've just run out of ideas. But often, the real culprit is burnout. It's no secret that creativity demands mental energy. However, people often underestimate how much rest and recharging that creativity actually requires. Studies show that mental fatigue, especially from overworking or multitasking, can lead to a steep decline in creative thinking. One study from the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology found that chronic fatigue significantly decreases your ability to generate new ideas. Many creatives believe the best way to push through a block is to work harder, but this approach only worsens the problem. Author Alex Sujing Kim Pang, in his book Rest: Why You Get More Done When You Work Less, argues that we need more downtime to spark creativity. He found that people who spend more time resting tend to have higher quality creative output. This isn't just about getting enough sleep, although that's crucial. It's about giving your brain the right kinds of breaks, like going for a walk, daydreaming, or engaging in a hobby. These moments of mental quiet allow your brain to wander, which often leads to breakthrough ideas. An easy strategy for recharging is to schedule intentional pauses throughout the day. Try taking a 10-minute break every hour. Use these moments to step away from screens, grab some fresh air, or even do something as simple as doodling. These micro breaks may sound trivial, but they help refresh your brain's creative circuitry. Chapter 2. The Perfectionism Trap. How flawless kills flow. Perfectionism is often seen as a sign of high standards, but in reality, it can be a major roadblock to creativity. A study published in the Journal of Counseling Psychology found that perfectionists experience higher levels of creative anxiety and are more likely to suffer from procrastination. The fear of not being perfect can make us stall, second-guess ourselves, and ultimately avoid finishing, or even starting, projects. Writer Anne Lamott, in her book Bird by Bird, famously wrote, "Perfectionism is the voice of the oppressor, the enemy of the people." She wasn't wrong. The constant push for flawless results can kill the joy of creating, turning it into an exhausting, stressful process. To combat this, you have to let go of the idea that everything needs to be perfect on the first try. Creativity is messy, and that's okay. A practical strategy is to embrace the 80% rule. Rather than aiming for 100% perfection, try completing a task to 80% of what you think is perfect, then move on. This approach encourages progress over perfection and frees you from the fear of flaws. Over time, you'll find that what felt like a messy draft can evolve into something polished without the pressure of perfection holding you back. Another useful tool is setting time limits on your projects. Give yourself a deadline to force action and prevent endless tweaking. Chapter 3. Breaking free from the creative echo chamber. Creativity thrives on diversity of thought, experience, and influence. Yet, one of the most common mistakes creatives make is staying too long in their own echo chamber. This is the comfort zone where we surround ourselves with the same ideas, perspectives, and styles. While it feels safe, it's also the quickest way to fall into a creative rut. Research published in the journal Social Psychological and Personality Science found that exposure to different cultures and new environments can boost creative thinking by up to 20%. Author Austin Kleon, in Steal Like an Artist, talks about the importance of drawing inspiration from a wide range of sources. You are a mashup of what you let into your life, he writes. If you're only feeding your brain the same inputs, it's no wonder your creative output starts to feel stale. So, how do you break free from this echo chamber? Start by deliberately exposing yourself to new influences. If you usually stick to the same genres, try consuming art, books, or music that's outside your norm. Go to a museum, watch a documentary on a subject you know nothing about, or even take a class in something unrelated to your field. The goal is to stimulate your brain with fresh ideas. Another unique strategy is to engage with people from completely different fields. Networking with individuals outside your industry can open your mind to fresh perspectives. They may approach problems in ways you haven't considered, offering you new ways of thinking about your own creative struggles. For example, engineers often use systems thinking, while artists rely more on intuition. Combining both approaches could lead to unique insights. If you found these strategies helpful, don't forget to subscribe. This channel is all about unlocking your creativity, and there's much more to come. Chapter 4. The Power of Play. Rediscovering creativity through fun. When was the last time you played? As adults, we often forget the power of play. Yet, play can be a game changer for creativity. Research shows that engaging in playful activities can spark new ideas and perspectives. In a study from the Creativity Research Journal, researchers found that participants who engaged in playful activities experienced a significant boost in creative thinking. It's clear, play isn't just for kids, it's essential for adults too. One great way to incorporate play into your routine is through games. Board games, puzzles, or even video games can stimulate your brain and encourage creative thinking. The simple act of playing can help you relax and open your mind to new ideas. Try a game that requires you to think outside the box or solve problems in unique ways. For example, games like Dixit encourage players to use their imagination and storytelling skills. Another fantastic approach is to engage in creative exercises that feel more like play than work. For instance, try a quick sketching challenge where you have just 5 minutes to draw something from your imagination. This exercise not only gets your creative juices flowing but also helps you let go of perfectionism. Remember, the goal here is to have fun, not to create a masterpiece. In his book Play, How It Shapes the Brain, Opens the Imagination, and Invigorates the Soul, Dr. Stuart Brown explains that play is vital for problem solving. He states, the opposite of play is not work, it's depression. So, adding playfulness to your routine can lift your spirits and enhance your creativity. Consider setting aside regular time for playful activities. This could be as simple as doodling, playing with modeling clay, or experimenting with new recipes. Chapter 5. Creative Paralysis. Overcoming the fear of starting. Have you ever found yourself staring at a blank page, feeling completely stuck? This phenomenon, known as creative paralysis, is all too common. The fear of starting can be overwhelming, especially when you're worried about how your work will be received. Interestingly, a study by the American Psychological Association found that the fear of failure can lead to increased procrastination among creatives. The good news? There are ways to break through this paralysis. One effective strategy is to apply the 10-minute rule. This technique is simple. Set a timer for just 10 minutes and commit to working on your project for that short time. Often, once you start, you'll find it easier to continue beyond those 10 minutes. This trick can help reduce the pressure of needing to produce something perfect right from the start. Another helpful tactic is to visualize the end result. Imagine what success looks like for your project. This visualization can provide motivation and clarity, making the task feel less daunting. In his book The Art of Possibility, Rosamund Stone Zander shares that envisioning your success can create a powerful pull towards action. You might also find it beneficial to work backward from your end goal. Instead of starting at the beginning, consider breaking your project down into smaller steps, starting with the last piece first. This approach can help demystify the process and make it feel more manageable. Don't underestimate the power of setting small, achievable goals. Instead of aiming to complete a large project, focus on just getting started. You might say to yourself, today, I'll just write one sentence. This small commitment can alleviate the pressure and make it easier to dive in. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on nurturing your creativity. Together, let's unleash your creative potential.